You're listening to Chat with the Expert, brought to you by Angie's List on 93 WIBC.
Welcome to Chat with the Experts, brought to you by Angie's List. My name is Kyle Hawk, and I'll be your host today. Our goal here on this show is to provide you with the very best in home health and lifestyle tips, and we get all the information on this show straight from qualified service providers and subject matter experts. If this is your first time tuning into the show, we're very happy you're joining us today. Last week, we talked with Greg Byers of Windsor Jewelry here in Indianapolis all about the gift buying season, how to find the perfect diamond, the perfect jewelry piece for that special loved one in your life. If you missed that show, you can find that and all of our past episodes on iTunes. Just pull up iTunes on your home computer or the podcast app on your smartphone. Search Chat with the Experts. You can find all of our episodes, and if you hit the subscribe button, you will get every show that we release as we release it. And you can also find our show at youtube.com. Just go to YouTube, search Angie's List, find the Angie's List channel. You'll see all the segments that we record here on the show. So if you want to watch us while you listen, check us out at youtube.com. And, of course, you can find us at angieslist.com. And, you know, now that the holiday season is well underway, you may find that long lines, shipping times, and countless loops around the mall parking lot are driving you insane when it comes to your holiday shopping. But never fear, you can use the magic of Angie's List to complete your holiday shopping in no time. Gift memberships at Angie's List are a really great way to save money, avoid hassles, and give your friends and loved ones the gift of great service and productivity. You can check it out at angieslist.com. Well, as we mentioned, the holiday season is upon us, and with it comes family, friends, and a whole lot of food. And if you're like me, one of the best and maybe the worst parts of the holiday season is the endless line of desserts. You know, with so many options on the pie table, it's hard to pick just one slice, but we want to find out what you can do to avoid the pitfalls of the holiday season when it comes to your personal health, and how you can keep fitness as a priority with so many roadblocks in the way. And so joining us on today's show to help us out, we're going to get you the motivation you need to keep your personal fitness in mind no matter what the holidays throw your way. It's going to be Mike Robertson of Indianapolis Fitness and Sports Training. They go by iFast. They've been around since 2008. Providing fitness training, sports performance training, and boot camps in the Indianapolis area. Mike is a workout and personal fitness expert, and he's here to spur us in the right direction today as we learn how to take the first steps toward getting fit. Mike, welcome to the show.
Kyle, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. We're glad you're here. I would imagine that doing the job you do, it's not hard to stay in good shape, but I wonder if the holiday season provides some challenges for you as well.
I think it's a pretty universal challenge for all of us to struggle around this time of year, whether it's time demands, all the great food that we're exposed to, or just trying to stay motivated and get in the gym as it gets a little bit colder. So I am not immune to that myself. And as I age, I struggle with all the same things that other people do.
Sure.
Unfortunately, I don't get to hang out and just work out with every client all day, every day. That would make my life a lot easier, though.
Yeah, well, we're looking forward to hearing some of the tips and knowledge that you have on the subject of personal fitness today. Is after the holiday season ends generally when you see an uptick of new people wanting to get in shape?
You know, to a degree, it's definitely when we get the most new interest, people that are maybe interested in starting a new fitness program, or people that are really getting serious for the first time. But I think our gym's a little unique in the fact that we get people at a pretty steady rate throughout the year. Our client base tends to be very motivated, very goal-driven or goal-oriented. So we get people, I mean, we're still getting quite an influx of new clients even in November and December. And
sure.
I think if you ask a lot of gyms, that is definitely not the norm. A lot of times, January 2nd, January 3rd, that's when the lines are coming out their door. So our business is unique, but in that same vein, I think this is the time of year when everybody's starting to think, hey, it's time to get serious about my fitness program.
Yeah, it's really great to see that or hear that you're kind of seeing a different trend in that area. And, you know, it obviously makes sense to be thinking about it now, but for a lot of folks, if you start talking about personal fitness, they're going to say, well, let's just hold off to the end of the year. I'm so busy. There's so many things going on. What are some things that you would tell somebody right now as far as staying focused on fitness, even as we go through this holiday season?
Yeah, it's a great question, and it's something where I think you need to find a balance, right? Everybody needs to stay in shape, if you will, and we want to do things. We want to stay active, but I don't think it needs to be in the vein of going to the gym and killing it for 60 minutes, 90 minutes, 2 hours. A lot of times, just little things that we can do around our house, whether it's body weight circuits, getting a low-level cardio workout in, those things are every bit as beneficial, and they allow us to have the time to go out and spend extra time with family, friends, and that sort of thing, because quite honestly, this is the one time a year that's kind of dedicated or reserved to that. So I think this is where a really holistic approach to fitness comes in. It's not just, oh my gosh, I feel guilty because I just ate this amazing pumpkin cheesecake or whatever it was. Don't feel guilty about it. Enjoy it. Enjoy your time with your family and your friends, and know that, hey, at some point, the fitness thing is going to have to come back into a little bit more focus than it is during the holidays.
Yeah. So whether it's right now or whether it is at the start of the year, getting started on your personal fitness is one of the hardest parts, I feel like. I wondered if you could share with us some first steps that everyone should consider taking if they're just now thinking it's time for me to start getting in shape.
Yeah, well, a great question again, and I'm definitely biased here, but I think most people would greatly benefit, especially if they're just getting started, at getting some form of an assessment up front before they start training. A lot of times there's a ton of motivation, a lot of enthusiasm to go in the gym and really start working hard. And, while they mean well, a lot of those people tend to burn out very quickly because they're not doing the right things or they're not doing things effectively.
Yeah.
And they end up either burned out or injured. So one of the best things I think any person that wants to get in shape in the new year should do is go out and get a personal fitness assessment or a strength training assessment and figure out where is your body at right now.
Yeah.
Because if you've never worked out, obviously that's important. Also, if you're like a weekend warrior, somebody that grew up playing sports like I did, like I know you did, a lot of times we have this memory of how strong we were at one point or how fit we were at one point, and you want to go in the gym and achieve that level of excellence right on day one, right? So it's much better if you work with somebody to kind of figure out where am I at now, what are my goals, and then to set up a realistic program to get you back there.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to ask about. Obviously up front, getting that assessment is a great benefit. What are the benefits over the long haul of having a personalized fitness program as opposed to joining a gym or some sort of one-size-fits-all fitness program?
Sure. Well, as we all know, we're all unique individuals, right? And what we tend to see a lot of times are the same basic movement patterns or the same things that get people into, an injured position or into a bad posture or whatever you want to call it. But what we see is how they break down may be a little bit different, right? So the same basic posture for one person leads to back pain, or to somebody else it's hip pain or knee pain. So that assessment allows us to figure out kind of how you move, what issues you have now, what issues you may have in the future, and then you can construct that best program for the person standing in front of you. Because more and more what we see now are people that they don't move well, they don't recover well. So we've really got this vicious cycle where if we can lay out a personalized program that kind of meets you where you're at and merges that with where you want to go, it makes everybody's life far simpler, and the people end up getting far better results.
Yeah. Well, like we mentioned, taking these first steps is one of the hardest parts as you start this journey towards personal fitness. What are some of the biggest hangups that you see people face as they start this journey?
It may sound ridiculous, but the biggest issue that we see are people that are afraid to go in the gym because they're afraid of how they look, or they're not confident in how they look.
Yeah.
So their mindset is totally backwards of what it should be. Well, I'm going to get in shape and then I'm going to join the gym.
Yeah.
And how many people do you know that have achieved that goal, right? It's totally backwards. So I would say, look, leave your hangups at home. Everybody walks into the gym moving differently, feeling differently, different body shape, body size. Don't worry about where you're at right now. And that's something that I always stress with my clients and my athletes. I don't care where you're at now. Let's focus on where you're going. And that's a much better outlook to have when you're getting into the gym.
Yeah, it seems as though most of the hangups people face are likely more mental related than they are anything physically.
Absolutely. And sure, we're going to have people, the older you are, typically you got a little bit more tread on the tires, but don't let that be an issue either, because a good fitness professional is going to be able to say, whether it's knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain, any issues or dysfunction that you may have, somebody that understands the human body, they understand anatomy, they understand, strength training and performance training, they're going to be able to set up a program that works around those issues while simultaneously bringing up the weak links.
Yeah.
So that over time, those aren't issues anymore.
Excellent information. We're actually going to take a quick break here, but we're just starting to work up a sweat on today's show. When we come back, we're going to talk with Mike about what you can do to lose those extra pounds you've tacked on this year and how to stay focused on your fitness goals no matter what life throws your way. Stay right here. You're listening to Chat with the Experts, brought to you by Angie's List.
Introducing the all-new Angie's List app, your on-the-go resource for great local service. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you can access ratings and reviews, shop offers, and request scheduling assistance from the palm of your hand. Submit and stay up to date on your projects. Redesigned and easy to use, the new Angie's List app makes getting more from your membership simple and convenient. Anytime, anywhere. Download the free Angie's List app on iTunes today.